Windstar Cruises, who are we? What do we do? We are one of the smaller cruise line ships out there. We just have six vessels. We have three of the sailing boats that you see on the left there. We have three of those. And then we have three of what we call our motor yachts on the right-hand side, which don't have the sails on them. All of our ships vary from 150 up to 348. Most of them just being around the 300 mark. So we are definitely that small ship cruise line. And basically that means that we go to a lot of places that a lot of the other big ships don't go to. That means our itineraries are very creative. So let's learn a bit more about these wonderful boats. So I'll do a bit of nuts and bolts here so you know what you're getting into when you go onto our unique style of cruises. This is the Windstar and the Wind Spirit. This is the little baby ones. They're the 150 people. So we reserve these for the warmer waters of beautiful Tahiti, or maybe the Caribbean or Caribbean, depending where you're from, how you want to say that. Then, of course, we have the larger vessels, as I mentioned, the Star Pride, the Star Legend, and the Star Breeze, which are all holding up to 312 passengers as a maximum. So again, think of a super yacht, private yacht, touring, whatever you want to imagine, these beautiful vessels just cruising around. But we don't just go into the little waters, we go across the ocean. So we do travel globally with our destinations. So during COVID, it was a great time to put some of these, the three bigger boats, if you like, the 300, into dock and extend out the middle of the boat so that we could basically have a larger experience. We didn't make the boats wider, we made them longer, which meant we can still get into those unique places that we go to. But what does this mean for you? We have beautiful brand new suites aboard all of the Breeze, the Pride, and the Legend. So we call all of these vessels the Star class. There's a bit of that factory operation for those that are boaty and technical minded. It was quite an operation to chop these in the middle and put some more inside them. But when we get inside, this is what we've been able to do is refurbish these boats, starting with the Star Ocean View Suite. We have the Ocean View Suites here as well. And then a Star Balcony Suite. Now you can see from there, we have a French balcony. We don't have the big glamorous suites, except for, balconies, not the suites are glamorous, but except for this one, the Grand Owner's Suite, which is the biggest room on our boats, does have a full balcony style there. But most of our rooms are more of that French style balcony that you see through there. All the bathrooms are fully refurbished with double sinks and toilets and showers, of course. And then here, this is a good vision of that middle section where we've been able to add an additional swimming area and bathing area here, as well as a jacuzzi up on the top of the deck there. All of the boats, of course, have a spa room for those that want to take advantage of those features while on board. And then here, I'm just having you look through the Wind class. So those beautiful big sailing ships. And this is one of the unique features about Windstar. And any customer that has been on our boats come back over and over because they talk about the unfurling of the sails. There's a beautiful classical Italian music that fits exactly in time with the unfurling of these sails as they come out, whether it be a sun heading off into the sunset or waking up into the morning or just heading out to sea during the day. So this is one of those memorable experiences and why people like to choose the Wind class. Our big baby here is mainly up in the Mediterranean area into the Greek Isles, and this does hold up to 350. So our biggest ship actually has sails, as you can see here. So again, this has lovely standard rooms as the leading rooms you see here. Clients can upgrade into a suite here. Now, do notice the windows. Every one of our cabins is an outside cabin. We don't have any inside cabins at all. But these ones do have the traditional old porthole on the sailing, because that is a part of the unique sailing experience. And then, of course, there are some upgradable rooms on there as well, such as the bridge suite that you're seeing there. Beautiful dining rooms on board while you're traveling around to these wonderful places. And of course, lovely lounging and entertainment areas. Pools at the back here with a double jacuzzi up the back of our big windsurf boat. And then just diving down into, I just want to show you the rooms and the nuts and bolts, if you like, of the smaller boats, just so you know what to expect on there. And again, as I mentioned, these are the smaller boats that are in the warmer waters, such as the Caribbean, Tahiti. We don't take these ones up into Alaska. We reserve that for the more sturdier boats into those passengers or the areas of Northern Europe. But these vessels are perfectly suited for these sunny destinations. Lovely standard stateroom here. Again, with those porthole windows there, just noting that, all ocean view, but no inside cabins, but they do have those porthole views there. And this is one of the owner suites. And again, this one's fitted out with a slightly bigger bistro, the Afora, over the Stella bistro on the other one. What our customers really feedback to us is they love the dining experiences here. As you can imagine, only 150 people. Meals can be made a la carte anytime. There's basically a buffet out for breakfast all day if you want. Here's a veranda room. During the day, it just converts to an outdoor cafe, if you like, while you're sailing around. And then at night time, we bring the candles out and put the sides up there of the windbreakers there, so you can have a lovely a la carte meal out in the middle of the ocean there. And one of our, again, lounging areas, which is up at the fore part of the boat here, called the Yacht Club on that particular boat. These being smaller boats of only 150, smaller pool, smaller jacuzzi, not too, but still you'll feel like you don't see many people because there's only 150 and you're on quite a big boat. So lots of room, plenty of space to not be crowded. So let's take now a dive into why people do choose Windstar and what is our big differences. Obviously, as I've discovered there and tried to make the point, we're a small vessel. So that gets us places well into where others can't go to. So literally this picture here, we have a water sports platform, and these are kayakers just coming off our boat, getting on a kayak and then paddling up to the face of a glacier that's pouring into the ocean here. So these are the sort of experiences that people come to Windstar for. So we like to use this tagline, we're going in a different direction. We're going into these places that the big boats just can't get to, and we can get there quicker and easier, which takes out all of the frustration that can go with traveling on larger vessels. Unique and captivating places. We really do pride ourselves on being welcomed when we come to shore because of our low numbers. The locals are like, oh, thank goodness we can, it's a smaller group. We can spend more time with them. We're not doing a mass marketed sort of tour for them. They're really immersing with the locals and the people. So it's a nice reciprocation on both sides of what we're doing. And our passengers, like you guys are looking for these unique experiences. You want to have time on your own. You don't want to be rushed with the regimentation and things like that. So our big tagline is you're free from the crowds. You're on smaller vessels. There's plenty of room there. But we also want to engage our clients with that unregimented feeling. You're in some of these beautiful tropical places where we've all heard of island time. Things change. They change on a dime. So that should be part of your day as well, that, hey, if you don't want to do this, let's go and do that. And that's very much a part of what we can do. There's plenty of outdoor seating areas to get away from everyone. It's not overcrowded at all. So there'll always be relaxed days. And then our dining is something that we're very proud of. There's no set times. There's no set tables. There's not even a set menu. As I mentioned, with these lower numbers of people, it enables us to be able to make meals a la carte if you want to. We like to call the dining casual country club, if you like. It's an understated elegance, I suppose, is the word. So you don't have to bring your suit and your tie and get dressed up. If you want to, absolutely go for it, but it's not expected. There are normally two levels of restaurants, the slightly more dressy and the more casual. And then one of our favorites for our customers is this one. Dine in your room. Don't even get dressed up. Just pick up the phone, call the kitchen, and they'll make whatever you want, a la carte off that menu, as I mentioned, because we're not catering for a huge number of people, so we can make that happen as well. Now, the James Beard Foundation, I'm sure people out there are aware of it. It's a group of restaurateurs, chefs, and critics that have a passion and an appetite, pardon the pun, to ensure that when you're dining in local areas and you're dining with food that's been produced by locals. So this really comes to light with our program because we have onboard chefs. And we also, from time to time, have celebrity chefs come on board because they love our style of traveling. It's a lot more, was it quieter than some of the bigger boats. So they love to get a gig on Windstar and come on with our team. And what they also love to do, we have this program it's just open to anyone on the ship to go shopping with the chef. When we pull into some of these unique or smaller ports, we'll be needing to restock our fridges, because unlike a big cruise line, we don't have a big base, a big freezer unit based in a port to go back to stock up. We have to shop while we're going around, which brings this lovely local essence and food. So the chef in the morning will go around and say, hey, I've got to go off into the markets. Would anyone like to come with me? And we'll go and shop up and you can pick out some things. So it's a really great additional immersive experience, if you like. This is something you won't find on the big ships. We have an open bridge policy, which means you can just go and knock on the door, come and have coffee with the captain, learn some things about navigating the seas, have a chat about systems and that you don't understand going on. And our captains and our crew are very welcoming with this, because crew and our customer relationships, we believe, are what personify or exemplify what it is to be out on the sea, because you're all out there together. So everyone likes to share their experiences out there. Now you'll see on this image here, at the back of all of our 6 vessels, we have the water sports platform. So from there, pulling up into these beautiful areas that we go into, and you can go for a simple swim, you can do water skiing, you can go sail boarding there if you like, of course, kayaking and snorkeling, and also scuba diving. So if we know we get a lot of customers that are trying to tick off a lot of boxes on their scuba experiences, so you can do that as well. Just a disclaimer there, we do like to know if you're coming on, let us know you are a diver, because we do like to bring a PADI certified diver to be on there as well with you as we go around. But this is a great feature when you talk about spontaneity and adventurous nature. Like you might be in this beautiful cove and like, oh gee, I just want to jump in that water. Well, sure enough, if we're at anchor and we can release the back of the boat down, we'll get you out there in the water as soon as possible. Something I must mention too about our entertainment is we don't have a raceway. We don't have a water slide. It's very low key, or when it comes to our entertainment. What we like to rely on is inviting the Indigenous populations and the local cultural theatres to come on board and talk about their culture in the place that we're in. Also on the right of my slide there, you'll see these 2 people are actually part of the crew. And the gentleman at the top is actually a whiskey expert. And he loves to come out on some nights and bring out all his whiskies and talk about pairing it with the foods. Same with the gentleman down the bottom there. He's one of our crew members, but he loves his wine. So he has a lot of fun imparting his knowledge in a humorous and fun way to the crowds while we're there. So, if you're looking for the big Broadway entertainment, Vegas style, you won't get that on Windstar. It's all about full immersion and culturally reactive to the places that we are in. So who's the typical Windstar travel? I'm talking to them. They're you. It's you who wants to come out and be with us. You might have already done, say, a river cruise with on a small vessel through the Rhine or the Seine over in Europe, and you thought, oh, this was really good on the rivers. But now you want to take that small ship experience out to the oceans and into those little crevices and bays where not other ships can go. That's who this product is for. You're also someone that tells us that, yeah, you're looking for that authenticity. We want this understated elegance where we want to be looked after and pampered, which is absolutely what our crews do. But you also want to be left alone and have that individual time that you're craving while you're on vacation. Let's have a chat about our destinations, because we do have a conundrum. We're 6 small boats and we're trying to cover the whole globe. So what that means is that some itineraries stay and some change over the years. So let me just run through this. This is basically our global map here of every port that we're going to visit in the year 23 and the year 24. And so you can imagine these 6 little ships have somehow got to get all around to these destinations. So you want to have a look at our atlas or our ports and say, which ones do I want to see? And then you want to start flipping through our itineraries to find out which are the ones that really excite you. So let me try and mention some of those. So Tahiti is one of the only places where we have a weekly departure. So if Tahiti's always been on your bucket list and you're like, oh yeah, that's a place I want to go to, we can pretty much get you on there every week. There's a 7 or a 10-day cruise, flies down to Papeete, which is the capital of Tahiti, where you'll board, and then you'll go off to Bora Bora and Moorea. Now, a lot of people say to me, oh, I don't want to go all the way to Tahiti and not stay in an overwater bungalow. Well, we have packages for that as well. So you can spend 3 nights in a bungalow, then get on the boat and go and do the sailing. And I will say, as an island destination, French Polynesia is best seen on a ship where you can get to more places rather than just island hopping with planes. It's a lovely way to see all the diversity of all the different islands. The Greek Isles is one of our clearly popular as well. Again, this one is on both a sailboat or on one of the motor yachts, and those itineraries do change from year to year depending on port availability and as we find special little places that we haven't visited before. Of course, the sturdier ships, so the big motor yachts are the ones we send up into the inside passage of Alaska, up into the Sound and Tracy's Arm and all these other unique places that you may or may not have heard of. What has been very popular in tourism is Iceland. So going into Reykjavik and then doing a circle navigation of the whole island has become popular. So that program is staying around for the next 2 years. And of course, the beautiful Italy areas. Lots of sailors and cruisers always want to tick off the Panama Canal. It's an absolute must if you're a cruise or sail or water enthusiast. So lots of our programs have that. And of course, the Caribbean or the Caribbean, excuse my Australian pronunciation there, but the San Juan and the Virgin Islands and down in those areas, we have a lot of those tours going in season. So again, people often ask me, so what's the big difference? There's lots of cruise lines out there, as we know, and I really do challenge you to find a 2 itineraries, ours and another company's, that you can truly compare. That's where the difference comes in. These itineraries that we craft are so unique, so different. We want to go to out of the way places and really show a different experience. Of course, with marking the high demand places, the must-dos as well, but then going off that beaten track and creating a unique and different experiences. So just let me scroll through some pictures here. I got this out of a file that we have of passengers that just load up onto our drive. This is a lovely one here. We're returning back to the Arabia and the Red Sea area this year. Got a great snap of the camels on the beach here. The Holy Lands of Jordan and Petra, lovely photography shot there. And of course, the beautiful hills and vines of Tuscany, lovely destinations to go to as well. One of my absolute favorites, Bora Bora. No, you just can't beat any time of the day there, hanging out in those beautiful tropical waters out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And this one just mystifies everyone. Being on a boat and going through this canal, absolute must do. Everyone must see this in their life. And then Reykjavik, as I mentioned, the Iceland has become a popular tourist destination. So a lovely way to escape the crowds is to come onto one of our ships. The Norway fjords up there off the northeast coast of the Copenhagen, living out of there. These are very popular to see these gorgeous waterways. The Blue Lagoon out here, and also I can't even pronounce this name, and I'm not going to try to. Maggie or Gretchen can help me with that one a little bit later. But these waterfalls up in this area, absolutely stunning up in the northern area ways. So lovely picture here. I love this one of our clients taking a picture of herself taking a selfie. So I think it's called a selfie, if I'm correct. And just to finish off here, some glacier hiking. So yeah, this beckons a point. We're not just stuck on the water all the time. Obviously, we're in these beautiful ports, and there's opportunities to go on shore excursions. So they're always made available to you on the ship. They are at an additional cost to purchase there. And the reason for that is they're so varied and different that we don't know what to include in these trips. So, talk to our vacation planners about interest that you like if you want to get a pre-load down or download on what are our shore excursions, but we don't include them all in the pricing because people that we find on our trips have a lot of varied interests, and we want to cater for them on a person-by-person basis rather than send off on a scheduled departure. You can tell by my funny accent, I'm very proud about Australia and New Zealand being on our itinerary. I'm actually going down there in January to take a little look around at some of the new areas we're going into. And I must say, as in Australia, New Zealand is actually even more beautiful than my homeland. Yes, it's true. It's true. It's absolutely gorgeous and a great way to be seen by boat. We've got the boat when it relocates out of Australia, be coming back through Japan and some Asia areas, which is giving us some opportunity to go to some new places that we haven't been to before as well. I'm nearly at the end here before I open up to questions here, but I just want to talk about the program as a whole and a bit more about what's on board. We have a thing called a Star Collector, which is people doing back-to-back cruises. And the reason I mention it, it's a very nuts and bolts thing, is laundry. It comes up, hey, how do I go away for, we have people actually come on our trips sometimes for 8-9 weeks. I had a client the other day telling me they've rented out their home for 6 months and doing 3 different cruises. We're one of them. And so people say, well, how do you go away for, 3 months with your laundry? So anytime you're on a Windstar cruise, if you're staying with us for more than 2 weeks, we'll give you free laundry, basically. But if you are just doing the 7 to 10 day, you don't need to bring a big suitcase. We can do the washing for you. There's a small charge for it. It's about $15 to $20 a day. That changes subject and per different boat. So just check with Bursch Travel if that does come up as a question for you. But what I'm saying there is if you're going on longer cruises, you don't have to bring your whole wardrobe from home. We can look after your laundry while we're on board. Now, the other big question in the cruise industry is all-inclusive. It's a big term that we hear all the time. Of course, everyone wants it because it speaks of value. And we do have one. We don't like to say we're an all-inclusive provider because we're not. We are a unique small ship adventurous operator. But having said that, you can actually pre-purchase the things that you're going to use here and get value before you go. If you look here at $89, you can purchase your unlimited beer, wine, cocktails, your Wi-Fi, and your gratuities. Now, I can tell you on a mainstream big boat, this just to get your unlimited alcohol and maybe with gratuities, you're going to be $100, $120 before you get going. So our value there is good. If you don't pre-purchase it with your travel advisor, such as Bursch Travel here, we will get you to pay $100 on the boat. That's an encouragement to use your travel advisor there. And just down the bottom there, I've done a little sum. If you don't want cocktails, you just want beer and wine, there's a $65 package. If you only want the beer and wine, without the cocktails, $55. And if you just want to buy Wi-Fi because you don't drink alcohol, that's fine as well, of course. That's $35 a day. But if you're picking up all these things, if you piecemeal it out, the $89 is clearly the way to go. And just something else to mention is just say, Mr. and Mrs. Smith are traveling together in the one room. One wants to buy the package because they like it to have a drink and the other doesn't. That's fine. It's per guest or basically per room if you want to look at it that way as well. So with that, I think I will leave my gibbering away and I want to invite Maggie on. Maggie, if you can open up your microphone and maybe just, finish off with your personal experience and what you loved about Windstar.
Thank you. What was a pleasant surprise, the last cruise prior to this one that I went on was a larger ship. And so our first experience boarding the Windstar, I was on the Star Legend, was being greeted at the pier by the captain. He's there to shake my hand. And we were the only 2 people checking in at that point. So it was just, when you're up in Vancouver checking in for Alaska Cruise, you're with like a couple of thousand of your closest friends to check in. This one, I was just with my best friend checking in. And that was a pleasant surprise to have that very nonchalant, very easygoing entry to get on board the ship. The staff there, because you're on a smaller cruise, the staff gets to know you right away. They make point of saying your name, greeting you with a smile every time they see you. So likewise, we learned their names. So by the end of the cruise, we were all good friends. The other thing I liked about it was the casual dress. So, I brought 2 pairs of shoes for a 10-day cruise, which was very nice. Didn't have to pack any fancy cocktail dresses or anything to dine out. It was just smart casual attire at night on board the ship, which was very, very nice. And There were things to do during the day, but there was just a lot of downtime. So if you want to get away and relax, it's the perfect cruise. Just sitting on board, getting to know people. We traveled through the English Channel from Amsterdam up to Ireland and then over to Scotland. We ended up in Edinburgh with stops in Dublin, Belfast, Portrush in Northern Ireland, and then we went over to Ullapool, Oban, and Edinburgh. Great weather all the way. We lucked out because there wasn't one, I think we had one misty day, but on that, we had sunshine up there, so thoroughly enjoyed it. And sometimes the ship where it docked wasn't close to town, so they had free transfers for us. So that was very nice because otherwise it would cost you about, in Dublin alone, €30 each way to get a transfer. So they providing free transfers was a nice plus to get everyone in and out. We did take advantage of the laundry service, and that was rather nice too. I had never done that before on a cruise ship, and we took full advantage of that, and it was helpful, just to have that taken care of. And the nice thing too, when you get back, going back to the ship, so maybe that port we visited to get back to the ship or get it on and off between the port was by tender, and waiting at the end of the dock while we're waiting for the tender is usually iced tea or coffee, usually iced tea and cookies and sweets and a little shaded area for us to wait for the tender to come back to take us to the ship. And there was always someone there to help us get on and off the tender in a safe capacity. And that was also very nice. But it was the friendliness of the staff, the ease of the cruise, the relaxation, the food was phenomenal. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was just a nice, especially after 2 years of COVID, it was a nice vacation for us.
Yeah, lovely, lovely. Yeah, I think you've just summarized that beautifully, Maggie. Like that's just yeah, they're exactly the things that, when we survey our passengers to say what was it like, all those things you mentioned, the friendliness, the casualness, all those things. So, and let's be honest about this, that mightn't be for everyone, right? But we've got a very what is it, specialized repeat clientele. And would it be fair to say this, Maggie, once you get on and you do one, you're pretty hooked and you want to go again?
Yes, definitely. And I was amazed at how smooth it was. I've been on cruise ships. It wasn't my first one, of course, but even going through the English Channel, I really expected a little bit more um, rocky seas. No, not at all. Everything was just perfect.
Yeah, and I don't want to get too techie on it, but the question does come up. And again, I'll relay into that. You saw the pictures of the boats being cut in half. Having COVID was, you've got to take it. There's an opportunity in every crisis. So we took that time to restabilize the boats as well during that. And then there's this double feature because, yes, we go out into the middle of the ocean, so the stabilizers work. But then we're normally so close to the land because we get into normal places, we're not rocking at night. We're basically,
Right.
have that opportunity. So yeah, and it comes up a lot because people say, "Oh, I get motion sickness." Well, I can tell you, as you've identified there, it's not that bad. It's really not.
No,
Yeah.
no, not at all.
Very cool. Well, Gretchen, was there any questions pop in? I mean, I couldn't have covered it that well, although Maggie just summarized it beautifully. So, we're all going tomorrow, aren't we?
I'm ready.
Hope so.
I'm ready to go. I don't see anything in the chat box, but I have a question. What are the average amount of hours that you're in port? Do you have any overnights at all, or are you in port longer?
Yeah, well, most of the big cities and destinations, we will do an overnight. Every now and then we have to come in due to availability, come in the morning, leave in the evening. But very often we do try to make it an attempt to stay for that overnight experience where people can get off and go on. And we might get, Maggie, would you like just to reiterate, do you know how many overnights you had on your trip there?
We had two. Well, because we boarded in Amsterdam, and I had stayed at a hotel the first night, so I did some touring there. But also then when we checked on the board the ship, our ship was our hotel. So we had one night overnight in Amsterdam and one overnight in Dublin. So we got to Dublin like Friday at 5 in the evening, and we didn't leave till I think 10 o'clock the next night. So we got the evening life of Dublin both times. So that was really, really nice.
And that's the idea behind our itinerary plan, is trying to make the most, you don't want to come into those big cities and miss that opportunity. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that's great. Great. Well, I don't see any other questions, but feel free. I'm just going to kind of review and let everybody know how to reach out to your Pegasus or your Bursch Travel advisor. If you have questions, you want to check availability, you need more information. The best way to reach your advisor, if you have an advisor, is to email them directly. If not, you can call the local branch and reach them that way. If you are looking for, if you're new to Bursch Travel or Pegasus, you can go onto our website, which is burschtravel.com, go to locations, and there you'll see a list of all of our office locations, and there's an option there that's a customer questionnaire, contact us form. You can complete that, and then we'll get you to the proper advisor for that location to reach out to you and help you with any questions, check availability, any of that. Travel has come back with a vengeance, which is exciting for all of us, but we are extremely busy. Everybody is, but it's really exciting now that the world has opened up and everybody wants to get out. They're tired of sitting at home. They want to get out and explore. And I'm telling you, the Windstar Cruise sounds like the way to go. I like that port intensive kind of in smaller ship feel. So because of that, we are extremely busy, and we want to make sure that all of our clients have the best service. So the best way we've found is to set up an appointment. So ultimately, it would be to reach out to your advisor, see what time they have available to meet with you, make that appointment, and then spend some quality time discussing the different options, like I say, the itineraries, that sort of thing. And you could also just complete that questionnaire. Somebody will reach out to you and then set up a time to spend with you one-on-one to give you the best service possible. So you can go to Bursch Travel under locations, or like I said, email your advisor directly or call them, and we'll be happy to help you. I'm just seeing if there's any other questions. Also, one last note, maybe you heard, I always forget to start the recording, but I started it pretty soon after Ward started speaking. So if you have any friends or family that are interested, or you're thinking, a couple of couples want to travel together and you'd like those people to hear this webinar, we did record it. It will be posted on our Bursch Travel website under services, under travel seminars. And there'll be a link that will take you to this webinar. And if you missed anything or want to re-listen to it, or there was a part that you wanted more information, you can access it, or advise anybody else that's interested to go to our website and access it there. And they can hear the whole presentation. So I don't see anything else. So again, thank you everyone for spending your evening with us. Thank you, Maggie, for your insight. I bet you were reliving every moment.
Oh yeah.
And I'd like to offer too, with Maggie, if Maggie and I, with any customer there wants to take a deep dive on a particular tour, Maggie and I can tag team on a customized call like this and go over any questions as well. I'm very available for that sort of thing as well. As a final, and I'm always what's the word, cautious of technology. I might try and find just a little 2-minute video to finish off, Gretchen and Maggie. Would that be suitable? But I'm not promising.
Yeah, go ahead. A lot of that depends on the connection, but yeah, fire away, and then when that wraps, we'll call it we'll call it an evening. So thank you again, everybody. We'll take it out with the video.
Let's see if we can make this happen. And I'm not promising, guys, but
I'm holding you to it, Ward. If you mess up, man.
I know. I'm always reluctant to do this. So tell me if you can.
You've already seen all this.
Yeah, I know. It's supposed to be in the middle here somewhere. Here we go. Now, can you hear that or not?
Yes, yeah. I can. Yes.
Okay.
There are those
Can you
places
see
on
it?
Earth we call
Yep.
hidden gems.
Yeah.
Because big cruise ships can't find them. Places that few will see, but the ones who do will remember forever. Where we use our navigational skills to steer clear of the expected. These are the places only a Windstar Cruise can take you. So unlike the big cruise ships that only go to big cruise places, Windstar takes you further and gets you closer to the tucked away ports and pristine isles only itineraries designed for a smaller ship can reach. You'll chart your own course. Whether you're getting lost in the past, catching up with local culture, or going off on your own adventure, you'll always arrive back to the ship with plenty of stories to share. So why not try a dish you can't pronounce? Find a secluded spot to sunbathe. Bring home an ancient recipe as a souvenir. You'll visit all 5 senses before you hit the first port on the official cruise line of the James Beard Foundation, with exceptional locally sourced dishes, prepared by world-class chefs. From dining al fresco to coffee with the captain, you'll enjoy welcoming, highly personal service that's been named the best on the seas. Because at Windstar, we believe the smaller the ship, the grander the journey, for travel that's 180 degrees from ordinary. Welcome aboard.
All right, it worked. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Oh. Actually, Gretchen, you're on mute at the moment.
Sorry about that. I said I enjoyed that. I'm looking out either out my window at 7 inches of snow or the beautiful pristine waters.
Oh, Gretchen, we've got to get there. Hey, there's a Tahiti trip leaving every week. Let's get
I'm
you
there. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a lovely evening. And if you have questions, like I said, just reach out and we're happy to help. And like Ward said, if you want more of a deep dive, your advisor and Ward can put together a little Zoom conference. So have a good night, everyone. Take care.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.